Odell, complete concrete. Odell, complete concrete.
So what on God's earth are we doing here for 4 days?
Well, we're gonna set it up. We gotta break this concrete out too right here. I got a saw cut here on this line.
Get the jackhammer out then?
Jackhammer this.
Just that one portion here?
Yep. And then we need one 2x4. Because when we break the concrete around this,
We'll need to support it.
just put one right here. We'll cut one to fit right here. That same board might be our rod board. Well, no, it won't be the rod board because it'll have
So why
to
don't
stay
we just
there.
saw cut it here, give it like an inch barrier or something, and then jackhammer it out. Leave the concrete underneath this pole for now.
It'll probably just crack around it anyway when we start jackhammer. We got to put the form behind these posts.
Okay.
So I got to move these rocks back. All right, we're on the job site, 7 a.m. We got to fill this area in with concrete right here. I'm going to do a saw cut along this joint because it's raised up right there on the end, and breaks the pattern up, the joint pattern and the little planer beds. So we'll continue the double joint off of each planer. Then we're going to add 3 more at each one of these columns. Take a look at this. When I hit the trigger, the water comes out. So let's give it a try. Look at that. Perfect. See how fast that cut and clean? Nice,
yeah.
huh?
Like a hot knife through butter.
And no dust. I hate dust. And this is now what I'll do after I get done cutting. I'll put the other nozzle, spray off of this slurry, and then I'll start jackhammering. Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. Just testing out my new Milwaukee battery-powered sprayer on this saw, and it works great for cutting and a little bit of cleanup. There's 5 settings on that sprayer. I had it at the lowest one. Now I'm breaking out the Makita jackhammer. Don't have a battery powered jackhammer yet, but I plan on getting one. There's a little temporary bracing for the patio cover. So I'm going to break out the concrete from underneath that post, and then we'll pour back under it again once we do the whole pour. Not a lot of removal here. Most of the removal was just that piece of concrete that we demoed. Everything else was pretty close. We might have taken about 1 or 2 wheelbarrows of dirt out of here and just moved it into the yard. Check it right here. Right here, Eric's checking the grade, putting that screed board across, measuring down, make sure that we have 4 inches. Here's the duplex driver. This drives 6s, 8s, and 16 duplex nails. You wouldn't really want to use a duplex on this particular form, but I use it and then I drove them in the rest of the way because that's going to be inside the concrete. Here's the wire mesh going in. It's a 10 gauge and they're on 6-inch squares. This was the morning of the pour. I was sitting out there in my truck waiting for concrete and a herd of donkeys came walking by the house heading back to the hills. I think every night they go down, get water in the lowlands, and then head back to the hills. Just sitting in my truck waiting for concrete, and I seen these donkeys walking by. Interesting. We're going to be pumping the concrete in here because it's the only way to get back in this yard. There's not a lot of space on each side of this house. We have Kenny pumping the concrete in here. The gravel pit. So the first thing that's going to come out of the hose is about 5-7 gallons of water. So we captured that in the wheelbarrow. And then once we get to the good concrete, we start filling up the hole. This was about 200 feet of hose to get back here. This concrete is a 3/8 pea gravel, 3000 psi. It has 2% retardant. It also has a water reducer, so that's like a plasticizer. Eric's gonna get his first run at all the tools today. He's gonna try the bull float, funny trowel, big blue, joiner, and walking edge on this job today. See how he does. Here he is with the bull float. So far, so good. There's the homeowner there, Farron. Kind of like Darren, but with the F. So that's how I clean the edge of the existing. I just turn the edger around, scrape off everything that gets in that crack. The rest of the patio that goes beyond where we stopped all has double joints off of the planter, so we're going to continue that all the way through. We just snapped some dry lines to create a mark that we can follow with this 3-foot long joiner. Here's Eric, first time on the joiner. This is a brand new joiner, and it comes with a natural little bow in it, so you don't leave those lines on the outside of your joiner. So you could completely finish this with a funny trowel if you wanted to, and then your final pass would be with the joiner to make sure it's nice and open, and then broom it. Here's Big Blue, and this is really hard to use for a lot of people because of the weight of it and because it has a rocker arm. It's trying to twist back down because of the weight of it. So you gotta kind of have a good grip on that pole and hold it in the right spot. Gives you that added weight, so one pass normally and it's nice and flat. Here's the final touches going on with the broom. Here we are, final curing compound going on. All right, here's the very next day, and I came over here, removed the forms, and these planter forms were real tough to get out. They were kind of bound in there, and because the concrete was so fresh, I didn't really want to pry them out, otherwise I may have damaged the concrete. So inevitably, what happened, I didn't have my reciprocating saw, but luckily the homeowner had one, and I used his. And that's what got these forms out of the planter, was cutting them in half. His blade wasn't very sharp, but it was definitely better than nothing. He's using this around the yard for pruning. Oh yeah. Another cut right here. So there's two of these planter beds. I had to do pretty much the exact same thing. Cut it in two places. Now if this concrete was about a week old, I think I could have pried these out without damaging the concrete. Sure. Farron brought me some coffee out while I was stripping this, and it turned out to be decaf, and I didn't know it till I drank it, but it was actually good. I've never had decaf before, but it was surprisingly good. But you can see how well this is starting to match up with his existing. When this cures out 100% and it's all whited out, I don't even think you'll know this was an add-on. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification button. That way you'll be notified as soon as I upload another video. Have a good day. Bye.